You were Alan Villasana.
Sir,
Mr. Villasana, you were charged with two cases. You were charged with theft. You were also charged with racing on a highway. On both of those cases, you were facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
The theft or the racing?
Yeah, start on the theft because earlier one, yeah.
On January 1st, 2025, officers were dispatched to a shoplifter call at a Target in Harris County, Texas. The complainant, the loss prevention employee, called the officer regarding a theft in progress at the location and observed a Hispanic male wearing a tan hoodie and black shorts making a selection and removed the security tape from a JBL speaker box and placed other products inside the shopping cart. The complainant proceeded to keep the surveillance on the male and observe the defendant proceed to exit past all points of sale without any intent to pay for the items. The officer reviewed the surveillance and observed the complainant make contact with the defendant at the front entrance and attempted to retrieve the stolen items, and the defendant proceeded to leave the Target and enter a black Chevrolet Spark. With the assistance of a license plate reader and TLO, the officer determined the motor vehicle to be driven by the defendant and obtained a Texas driver's license, which the officer believed completely matched the Hispanic male captured on the surveillance footage. The total taken was $499.03.
Okay. On the racing, please.
Yes, Your Honor. On March 15th, 2025, the officers observed a black Toyota Camry and a silver Chrysler sedan traveling at a high rate of speed on the main lanes of the Katy Freeway. Officers attempted to catch up to the motor vehicles traveling 120 miles per hour to keep the motor vehicles in sight, but both motor vehicles were still out gaining speed. The posted speed limit was 65 miles per hour. Both the defendant and the silver Chrysler were racing in competition side by side at points, with both motor vehicles accelerating at a high rate of speed, attempting to outdistance and outgain each other. While the defendant and the Chrysler were racing, they were making evasive lane changes and failing to signal lane change, cutting off multiple motor vehicles to get around traffic, causing victims with their motor vehicles to take evasive actions to avoid collisions. The defendant's motor vehicle at one point drove on the right shoulder to pass vehicles in the right lane and was in front of the silver Chrysler. A traffic stop was initiated.
So driving on the shoulder
Yes,
to
on
get.
the shoulder. A traffic stop was initiated and the officer made contact with the defendant, who was the driver. The defendant admitted that he was racing with the other vehicle and that this was not his first time racing, but his first time arrested, and that he would have ran from the officers if he had more gas in the motor vehicle.
Mr. Villasana, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward on both of your cases. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're using, I will revoke the bond on both of your cases and I'm going to put you in jail. I'm also ordering you now not to drive. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. Do you understand?
how long?
While this case is open, and if I find that you do, likewise, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Can you print me out more affidavits, please? You're not to go to any Target whatsoever as well. If I find that you pick up a third case, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand? I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my city at all costs. And if that means putting you in jail and making your bonds high, I'll do it in a heartbeat. Do you understand? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer, or would you like to apply for a court-appointed lawyer?
I didn't have a job right now, so I can't.
Okay. Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'll have you fill it out and I'll take a look at it with you. Hey, I'm not done talking to you. I'll have you take a look at I'll have you fill it out. I'll take a look at it. I'm going to have you sign a receipt with Victoria. I'm going to have you come back because I'm going to have you sign an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive, and then you'll get with Fleischer for your bond conditions.
I won't be able to come back. I don't have a right.
Figure it out. I'll get you a lawyer and we'll start talking. But I don't want any more problems. Do you understand?
No, I haven't been in problems like 5 years. This is the first time I had a case since 5.
Go, please. Good morning, Mr. Alipio.
Señor Olivia,
Yes.
Sir, you were charged with driving while intoxicated, second offense. You are facing up to a year in jail and/or a $4,000 fine. We are going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you.
On March 13th, 2025, an officer observed a blue Ford.
Mr. Villasana isn't just dealing with a minor theft charge. He's also been caught tearing down the highway at reckless speeds. We're talking 120 miles per hour in a 65 zone, cutting through traffic like a danger to everyone around him. Picture yourself on that road watching someone swerve like that. What could you even do? That's why the courtroom atmosphere is so intense. The judge isn't taking chances. Absolutely no alcohol, no driving, no theft, and surprise testing whenever the court
Vehicle failed to maintain the single lane. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer made contact with the defendant, the driver, and sole occupant of the vehicle. The officer observed the defendant to have slurred speech. The defendant stated he drank one alcoholic drink prior to the traffic stop. The officer observed the defendant to be staggering while walking, using the motor vehicle for support, and the defendant to have the mild odor of alcohol upon his breath. The defendant appeared confused, and the officer had to repeat himself multiple times. SFSTs were conducted. 6 out of 6 clues were observed on the HGN. 2 out of 8 clues observed on the walk and turn. 3 out of 4 clues observed on the one-leg stand. The defendant stated he drank 2 to 3 alcoholic drinks prior to the traffic stop. The defendant was arrested. An inventory search was conducted of the defendant's vehicle, and the officer observed a warm to the touch white cup in the center console.
Alcohol while driving?
3 to 3/4 full while with the smell of an alcoholic beverage. The defendant was read the DIC and refused the breath test. A blood search warrant was signed and executed.
Mr. Alipio, I would hope that you would recognize it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. I'm going to find that there is sufficient probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to consume alcohol, illegal drugs, or unprescribed controlled medication. I'm going to randomly test you. If I find that you're consuming alcohol or illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. I am now also taking away your privilege to drive. You are not allowed to drive. If I find that you do, because I will have you sign an affidavit, a promise with me that you're not going to drive. I don't give a rat's behind what your excuse is. If I find that you drive, likewise, you will go to jail. I do not know what your immigration status is, but if you were not in this country with permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck like Chuck in custody until this case is over with, and then you get shipped off to immigration. Do you understand?
Yes.
I am sending notice to DPS that there is now a restriction on you that you are not to drive any vehicle that doesn't have an ignition interlock on it. If you were caught driving a vehicle and it does not have an ignition interlock, every officer in this state will know to arrest you and put you in jail. Do you understand?
Yes.
Your Honor, just to clarify, so he can drive so long as he has a guardian ad?
No, I'm taking away, he's not allowed to drive at all.
Would you consider reinstating his ability to drive because he owns his own business?
I'm not ready yet. All I know is that he's got alcohol allegedly in the car while he's driving, and it's a second offense. Look at me, Mr. Alipio.
Examíname, señor.
Do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Because of this restriction, you will now be required to obtain a portable device that you're going to take with you everywhere you go to prove to me that you are not consuming alcohol. I don't know if you have a problem with drugs or alcohol. If you do, now is the time for you to address it. Because if I see it becomes a problem, I'm going to address it for you. And I promise you're not going to like the way that I do it.
No, te va a gustar como lo.
Do you understand?
¿Te lo entiendes?
Yes.
Yes.
Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. That means that you don't have to waste your time coming to court. But it is your responsibility to stay in touch with Lee. If she tells me that she can't get a hold of you because you're ducking and dodging phone calls, you're playing games, you're not responding to her, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my street at all costs. And I have no qualms about putting you in custody. If you don't believe me, ask Lee. She knows. For now, I will have you come up here, swear to us that you're not going to drive. After that, you'll get to Victoria where we will have you sign a reset. After that, you'll get with Felicia for your bond conditions. And after that, you'll be free to go. It's not forever, but I want to know that he truly appreciates and not just, oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, Your Honor, his prior DWI was in 2003, so he had not had alcohol in any long time.
How do we know?
¿Cómo sabemos?
How many times has he not been caught that we just don't know?
No.
I don't know, but all I know is he's got alcohol in the car. He has a prior DWI, so he's already on notice of what you can and can't do. I have a problem. So
Yes, Your Honor.
just proactivity goes a long way.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, good luck to you, Michelle.
You know, I was here for Mr. Flores, Adrian Flores. He's in the holdover. He's got a terroristic threat and a serious bodily injury charge. Represent me.
Hi, how are you?
Harold, what would you like? What are we doing?
Just today was the day we're going to come back for the mental health evaluation, and they just sent it to me this morning. Haven't had a chance to read all of it. They did say he was competent, but I still think something's right with him. I talked to him.
So get a second opinion. You know, if you need money for a second evaluation, I'll give you money.
And I don't know. I mean, it might be he's competent, but just something's not correct, you know, with our thinking and reasoning when I was.
Are you able to communicate with them?
I am. Well, just for instance,
Limited fashion or something, or what?
Sorry?
In a limited fashion?
no, he communicate. Just for instance, I was just told, well, I just want to go ahead and work it out, because then I'm going to hire an attorney and we're going to get them all dismissed later. And if we're going to do this, we got to do it now. We have to decide if we're going to trial now. And
That's
then-
I want to get out as quick as possible and then
kind of, but that was a little more than that, though. Just,
to talk to him.
I mean, I guess it would be a safe thing. Just explain to him what's going on.
Do you mind bringing out Mr. Flores? Do you need a translator?
No, sir.
Adrian Flores, please.
And I think he understands now, but it just might be a misconception, maybe jailhouse lawyer talk or not understanding his
I don't know.
cases.
Does he have his pending in the 220? This case?
No other cases pending as far as I know.
Good morning, Mr. Flores. How are you?
Good today.
Good. The reason that you are still in custody is that we gave you a PR bond and you take off. You don't come back to court. This has not happened but once. It has happened already multiple times. So that's why I can't just continue to give you PR bonds. When you do, you just take off. The only thing I need you to understand is that, you know, when you plead guilty to something, it sticks with you forever. You cannot try to plead guilty to something, get out and try to change it or do this or do that. This is when you do this, when you accept a plea bargain, it stays.
Judge, Your Honor, I'm truly sorry for what I've done, like my whole life. I just asked for another PR bond. I'll make it to court. I actually called my mom see if I could stay with her until she drops me off at court, and whatever they say from there, you know, if I'm guilty or not guilty, I'll plead guilty. Or if I'm innocent,
Where
I'll
are
plead
you living
innocent.
now?
My mom stays in Tomball now.
No. Are you living on the street or are you living?
I'm homeless, but I've actually talked to my mom, and me and her are actually going into a good relationship now,
Did you just get picked up?
like mother and son. And yeah, you know, like they caught me at the airport, and
Look, I don't want you to talk about the case. The thing is that I don't want to continue to give someone a PR bond if you're just going to go to the streets. The streets are not a safe place.
I won't go back to the street. The streets
I know.
aren't for me anymore, man. Like I don't want to be in the street. I don't want to be homeless anymore. And you know, I've talked to my mom. She's doing real good, and she actually wants me to be around, pay the bills, and you know, and own a house of my own. You know.
Let's do this. Why don't we do a TRAS to see how we go forward? Because I don't know, and we can have the clinicians evaluate them to see how we go forward.
First,
If you want to do an independent one, I'm happy to give you money for you to do it. Or like I would suggest is just do a TRAS to see where do we go? Because I don't know, but having clinicians talk to him might be the best way to go to see how we go forward. Because the problem is, Harold, is if we just throw him out to the streets, we're throwing him out to the wolves. If he doesn't have a place to go to, or just, Whereas if we have him TRAS, we can try to get down to what the true issue is and why it keeps happening, and then we'll figure out a plan, So you just let me know whatever you want to do. I'm happy to do it.
So just when we do the TRAS, we just set that up with the CLO or?
Yeah, so we'll have Shatori set it up and we'll do it. We can expedite it so it gets done within the next couple of days, so he's not just lingering.
Judge, has his competency is also good then?
Yeah, competent. Yeah,
Burr?
so we can get it done. And then that'll really tell us, perhaps he needs to be in mental health court. I don't know. But that's what we can get the TRAS for.
So what do you think, there's 2 weeks or?
No, not even a week. A week. Okay, thanks. All right, Mr. Flores. Good morning, Mr. Lundy. Sir, you're charged with failure to stop and give information, which is leaving the scene of an accident without exchanging information. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
On March 12th, 2025, at approximately 4:45 p.m., an officer was dispatched to an FSGI call. Upon arrival, the officer spoke to the complainant, who stated he was traveling north on FM when a vehicle crashed into his vehicle. The driver then fled the scene without exchanging information. Complaining witness to the passenger stated that they were rear-ended, causing the defendant's vehicle to crash into a ditch. Defendant then approached them to check on their welfare, and once he saw they were unharmed, the defendant fled the scene on foot. The officer observed significant rear end damage to the complainant's vehicle. The complainant provided a description of the defendant, and the officer ran the license plate and found the registered owners were Michael Lundy and Dylan Lundy. On March 13th, 2025, the officer received a call from Dylan Lundy, who wished to provide a voluntary statement regarding the incident. The defendant admitted to crashing into the complainant's vehicle and to fleeing on foot because he believed he had an open warrant for failure to appear for a window tint violation. The complainant positively identified the defendant by photograph. The estimated cost to repair was over $200, as the complainant believed their vehicle was totaled.
Okay. Can you run his license, please? And does he have any open cases anywhere? You can run an NCIC.
His driver's license is eligible, and I normally don't take note of Class C violations, but I do.
No, I don't care about Class C.
Right.
No, I don't care.
He does not have any open cases
Okay.
at the moment.
Got it. All right, Mr. Lundy, I'm going to find there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. The only
sides. It's a clear attempt to prevent anything worse from happening. With conditions this tight, even one slip-up could land Dilasana right back in custody. Then there's the more personal side. Adrian Flores wanting to rebuild his life, while the court tries to weigh compassion against community safety. It's a difficult balance. Rehabilitation versus protecting the public isn't always straightforward. If you were the judge, how would you handle it? Offer him another opportunity to prove himself, or enforce the rules without any flexibility?
Days in jail and or a $500 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you, sir.
On March 12th, 2025, at approximately 9:25 a.m., an officer was conducting a stationary traffic enforcement on a public roadway of the 7,000th block of IH 610 southbound in Harris County, Texas. The officer observed a red Ford pickup truck traveling at a high rate of speed with heavy traffic the posted limit was 60 miles per hour. The officer witnessed the pickup truck bypassing other motor vehicles, weaving in and out of traffic at high speeds and coming dangerously close to other motor vehicles, with other drivers having to brake to avoid collisions as the Ford cut in front of them recklessly. The officer witnessed the pickup make multiple unsafe lane changes. A traffic stop was initiated. The officer reached speeds up to 110 miles per hour to catch up with the truck, but the pickup continued to distance itself from the patrol vehicle. The officer made contact with the defendant, driver, and sole occupant. The defendant admitted, "I know I was driving like an idiot. I just got off work." The defendant acknowledged he was aware that he could have caused an accident and hurt someone.
Mr. Phillips, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. If I find that you drive like this again, it's really not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I will protect my street at all costs. If that means putting you in jail with a $500,000 bond, I'm going to do it in a second. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Anymore, I will also take your privilege to drive away from you as well. Can you look to see if he has a license?
Yes, his driver's license is eligible, Your Honor.
You are not allowed to drive unless you have valid liability insurance in your name, and that is also now a condition of your bond. No reckless driving, maniacally driving, donuts, street takeovers, anything of this nature. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
You will sign conditions to this, and after that, you'll be free to go. You have a lawyer. I will waive your appearance. Just keep my street safe, man. Every day we have people dying. It's not fair. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, come on.
Thank you, Judge.
Right this way.
Sir Al-Bardon, sir, you're charged with terroristic threat of a family or a household member. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one will be appointed to you, sir.
Thomas
On
Flores?
March 12th, 2025, an officer responded to a weapons disturbance call at a residence in Katy, Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer met with the witness, who stated the defendant, her brother, and the complainant, her sister, were inside the residence and were involved in a verbal disturbance. The witness believed the defendant walked upstairs to retrieve a firearm during the altercation, which caused her to walk out of the residence and call 911. The witness, the complainant, and the defendant were eating at the dinner table, and the defendant told the complainant that he will shoot the complainant and the complainant will need to leave the residence. The complainant stated that she lives at the residence with the defendant. The complainant stated the defendant got into a verbal altercation with their father, and the defendant stated that he was the man of the house. The defendant attempted to slap the complainant in her face, and the complainant moved her head back, causing her hijab to fall off her head. The defendant told the complainant he would grab a gun, hold her down, and shoot her. The defendant would see that the complainant would not be in the residence. The complainant stated she felt in fear when the defendant threatened to shoot her.
Mr. Alvarado, I'm going to find that there's sufficient probable cause to go forward with the case. A protective order has been issued in this case that identifies Ms. Luna as a protected individual. Get to know this protective order, because if you do something to violate it, the state can and will file a violation of a protective order against you. And it's one of the worst cases that you can pick up. Do you understand? One of the things is this comes with a residential restriction that you're not allowed within 200 feet of the Park Fair Courthouse. Do you understand? If you go back to this place, it's not going to go well for you. Do you understand? How old are you, sir? How much? 33. Do you work? Do you have the ability to hire a lawyer? So what I'll do is I'll have you fill out an application for me. I need to know whether you can qualify for a court-appointed lawyer. Any allegation of alcohol or Mackenzie? Begins, any alcohol or any dope, anything like
No
that?
allegations of alcohol.
Okay. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm also ordering you not to have any contact with this person and not to be in possession of weapons. Do you understand? I'll provide you a lawyer today and we can talk about how we go forward, but just be careful. I don't want to have to put you in jail. Do you understand? Okay. Do you mind giving me an application? Deputy Miranda's going to give you an application. I'll have you sign a reset with Victoria and then we'll have you take a seat in the jury box.